The rhythm of Sabbath rest. And that's a rhythm we're going to talk about today. The rhythm of Sabbath rest. It's a 24-hour period that for many of us is a pipe dream. And the fruit is showing in our lives. A 24-hour period of rest from our work, our labor, our toil. A rhythm of renewal that we put off to some bygone era, a relic of a former time that is impossible in the 21st century. And we ignore it at our peril. And it's not a law thing, it's a creation thing. And on the seventh day, after God had created the heavens and the earth, it says this about him. On the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed, say blessed. God wants to bless your rest. He's given us the gift of the weekend. God is the giver of rest. And we reject it at our peril. Because on it, he rested from the work of creating all that he had done. New rhythms of renewal, living from the inside out. God didn't rest because he was tired. He rested because he was modeling a way that we need to live. He was fully aware that our bodies, our emotions, our spiritual life cannot handle incessant activity. Our marriages cannot handle incessant activity. Our emotions, we are overwhelmed and we're blaming other people, but perhaps we are just stressed and overwhelmed because we haven't learned to just stop and rest in the rhythm of the Sabbath. And that's not a Saturday thing. It's a 24-hour period that we can rest because God knows your limits. You know, often we don't know how we got so busy, how we got so tired, how we got so overwhelmed. I can remember when I was around probably 34, I'm just trying to think, around 34, 33. And I came to the end of the church calendar year in June, and I was exhausted, which was not that unusual in many ways. I was exhausted. And I looked back, and over the previous 9 months with 3 kids and a wife at home, I had been gone over 3 months to other churches, to other nations, traveling, doing all kinds of things. And I started to understand why I was so tired. And I started to understand why one day when I rolled into the church parking lot to go into the office, my chest tightened up, and I felt absolutely like I couldn't breathe. And being a good, hardworking person, I grabbed the steering wheel and I said, Millar, you're not going to do this. Breathe. And I sat there for about 3 minutes until my heart started to beat again, seemingly. And I breathed. Then I went right back to work. Healthy, right? No. God didn't rest because he needed to rest. He rested because we need to rest. And it happens slowly. We meet dozens of people, have so many conversations. This one little conversation, that one little extra phone call, that extra meeting. Can we have a quick one? What can it cost? But it does cost, and it drains us drip by drip by drip over time. And then at the end of days and weeks and months, we collapse, we divorce, we burn out, we commit adultery, we walk out on marriages, we go into having what was a glass of wine from time to time, where we have it every night, and we find areas in our life where we're burning out, and we don't know how it happened. But it happened in 1,000 unconscious events, tasks, and responsibilities that seemed easy and harmless on the surface. But over time, each one of them took a small portion of our life. And so that's why God gave us the command to keep the Sabbath. I was reading that this week, and I was reminded and convicted of where the Sabbath appears. Where God says, keep the Sabbath. It's in the same place where he says, don't murder. It's in the same list where he says, don't covet your neighbor's wife. It's in the same list where he says, worship the Lord your God only. It's in that same place that he says, keep a day of rest. Because this is absolutely vital for everything that I've called you to do. All the things that are dearest to your heart, all the things that you want to accomplish are accomplished counterintuitively in rest.